guys, I'm Celestina and I hope you're having a wonderful day. As you can see from the title, today I wanted to talk to you guys about creating your own religion. There's already so many religions to choose from in the world, but my thing is, why do you have to choose one of those? Why do you have to choose one of them and follow their specific guidelines? When I looked up the definition of religion on Google, this is what I got. The belief in and worship of a superhuman controlling power, especially a personal god or gods, a particular system of faith and worship, a pursuit or interest to which someone ascribes extreme importance. There is no set religion just because people feel like theirs is. Everybody feels like their religion is the one that's going to take them to heaven, is the one that's going to keep them out of hell, is the one that's going to give them eternal happiness. And most people strive to be the very best in their religion. Go to church, go to mosque, go to temple every Saturday, every Sunday, to be the perfect worshiper so that when they're dead, they could have the best life possible. Let me tell you a little bit about my experience with the religion and what I went through with it in order to explain a little further. My grandmother was Catholic and used to take me to a Catholic church, and I have to go to Sunday school. And I was always a very curious child, so I would ask a lot of questions. I went when I was about 6. So I remember asking a couple of questions like, have you ever really seen God? Like, what's this guy really about? You know, I don't really feel like he's all that real. Like, how can you prove to me that this guy is like out there, you know? And I remember my Sunday school teacher saying, Cindy, stop asking questions. When you're asking questions, that's the devil getting in your head and trying to sway you away from having faith. You have to have faith. I didn't understand that. I just could not grasp why I wasn't allowed to be curious, especially as a child when that's the most I was curious. Why this higher being denied me curiosity. The next experience I had a little later when I stopped really going to church, but I went to my friend, and I'm going to butcher her name, Allah's house. That's what we called her. I don't know how her name was spelled. But I loved her. She was amazing. So one time I was at her house, and she was Muslim. So, you know, and they were devout. She wore the headscarf and everything, and I thought it was so cool that, you know, she believed in her religion that much. And she would teach me all different kinds of things about the Muslim religion. And I remember one day, she took out this book. It was like a children's book. And it was like, how Allah created the world. And her brother were reading it to me, trying to get me to kind of like understand more about Islam. And the thing is, I had a very, very similar book at my house on how God created the world. And I mean, these pages were almost identical except for the fact that one said Allah and one said God. That really screwed me up because I was like, this is so similar. What makes your religion better than what I thought my religion was if these are the same books? And she said, well, we have a name for our God. And I was like, well, yeah, that makes sense. But I still really couldn't understand. And at that point, she didn't sway me towards Islam, but she did further me from Christianity, where I was kind of like in a limbo of like, right now, I don't really believe in any of that kind of stuff. When I was 14, I wanted to be Buddhist. So I looked up everything I could about Buddhism. I actually really liked that one though. I couldn't delve too much into it because of, I don't know, just kind of person I was. When I was 15, I moved to Florida, and then I went to a Jewish temple for about a year. It was Messianic though, which means that they still believed in Jesus Christ. But they did a lot with the Torah, and it had to do with a lot of the things that Jewish people practice in a regular Jewish temple. And don't get me wrong, I love this place. Like, this place was amazing. And I think it's mostly because of the people that went there and not so much because of the religion itself. It made me feel like I was at home, and I finally found the comfort in what religion was. So at this point, I've delved slightly into Christianity, into what it is to be Muslim, into slightly Buddhism, but into a lot of Judaism. And I realized they all tell you the same crap. It's literally all almost the same thing. No matter what book you're reading from, there's always these slight differences that cause a difference in the religion. But the overall principles are the same. This got me to think, why is there so much conflict around what religion you are? I became an atheist for a little while. I didn't believe in anything at all. So it didn't really matter to me. But I was very, very depressed. And one day I read an article, and I'll try to find an article similar and put it in the link below. But it said people that are a part of a religion tend to be happier, tend to be more willing to live and willing to go on. So I thought, you know what? I'm going to create my own religion, and I'm going to stick by those principles. Because who's to say that anybody else's principles are right? Who's to say that anybody else's principles are wrong? So who's to say that mine will be any different? Religion has had so many more than the ones that we can count now. There used to be people that believed that kings were gods, and people that believed that there was gods in every single thing that they touched, from the sun to the earth to the moon. So why does everybody think that their religion is right, and why does it matter when it has to do with dying? Why can't we just have, your own, why can't you just have your own peace? Create your own peace and call it a day. Leave everybody else alone. Doesn't matter what they're doing. Whatever they're doing, leave them to it, because obviously that's making them happy. There was a quote I heard one time, and I'll try to find it and leave it in the description below as well. It was about a missionary trip. You know, when people go and help people around the world and try to get them to convert to Christianity or whatever religion they're trying to get people to convert to, instead of just leaving them be. And, the missionary is teaching the Word of God, and the guy that they're trying to convert says, if I had not known of God's existence before, would I still go to hell for not following his rules? And the missionary says, no. If you did not know about any of this, then you probably wouldn't go to hell because you didn't know. And the guy says, then why did you teach me? Just some food for thought there. Here's one more thing I learned about religion. If you believe in something with so much conviction, you will actually start to see what you want to see. It'll start to appear in front of you. So I decided that my religion would be believing in myself. Believing in a spiritual realm where people believe in happiness, people believe in goodness, and people are there for people. And I created my morals. My morals were be kind to everyone, even if they're not kind to you. Show love instead of hate, and be the best person that I think I can be. In my religion, I use some tarot cards because I like them. I think that they're fascinating. And, you might not believe in them, and that's fine. But I like the sensation of being able to kind of pick your own destiny out of a set of cards. You know what I mean? I like the zodiacs. I like Buddha. I like looking at different gods from other religions, and Ganesh. I think Ganesh is so cool. And kind of picking them out and seeing what I like about them and taking that. I like the thought of being a part of the universe. Of every atom in my body is a part of the universe. From the chemicals that make up my skin, my bones, and my person, to the ones that are out in the sky, because they're the same. And I like thinking that when I die, I will not be buried in a coffin under the ground taking up space. I would like to be fertilizer for a tree. Just kind of throw me under and plant a tree on top of me, and I will fertilize that tree the best of my ability. So with my death comes a new life. And whatever happens after, happens after. I don't really give a single crap. Because right now, this is where I am. And this is where I'll be for the majority of my time here on earth. So I'd rather live it to the best ability and not worry about what's going to happen after I die. Because a lot of religious things that we do, like coffins and cemeteries are ruining our earth and taking up a lot of space. If you're religious, take a dive into your own religion and figure out bits and pieces that you like the most and bits and pieces that you could probably live without. Be your own person. We as humans are very easily persuaded. If you were born in a different place, you would be a different person right now. So it doesn't matter that you were born into thinking this. You could change it at any point in time. They don't tell you that, but you can. You can change yourself whenever you want. You don't have to be the same person always. You don't have to believe in the same things. Things are constantly changing. And that is a beautiful, beautiful part of what makes the earth, earth. And the people on it, people, is because we change. We change so often. And a lot of the times we're resistant to change. We don't want it because it's scary. So what? Question everything. Be curious. And be yourself. Do what makes you happy. And figure out your own set of rules to guide yourself. I recently added meditation to my religion because I think it makes me feel good. You could add yoga or soccer to yours. Who freaking cares? Just be the best person that you possibly could be. I'm Celestina, and ciao.